Right now, healthcare providers are warning people not to stockpile emergency contraceptives to make sure there's enough on the shelves for people who need it. This announcement following the Supreme Court ruling on Roe v. Wade. Stores such as Walmart and Rite Aid are limiting purchases of emergency contraceptive pills called Plan B, which are in short supply. Rite Aid limited purchases to 3. Walmart is limiting orders to 10. CVS previously had temporary purchase limits, but is now removing those limits over the next 24 hours as sales return to normal. Plan B can be sold without a prescription, and it's meant to be taken up to 3 days after unprotected sex. With the Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade, abortion law is now in the hands of states. Each state has its own individual battle. Today, a federal court allowing Tennessee to ban abortions as early as 6 weeks, while a Texas judge temporarily blocked enforcement of the state's ban on all abortions. Joining us now again is Dina Doll. She is an attorney and legal analyst. Good to have you back. So days after Roe v. Wade was overturned, it's gone back to the states. Let's start with the states that are working to keep abortion legal. How does that work, and what are their options?
Yes, well, states who want to keep it legal, they are doing things like trying to pass state constitutional amendments, making it legal, or passing laws about it. They're also trying to do shield laws, saying that if somebody comes from out of state and does an abortion, that the providers can't be extradited to the other state. They're scrambling to try to protect the right to choice as much as possible in those states that want it.
And in California, they're actually putting abortion on the ballot.
Yes, absolutely. They are trying to amend the Constitution. But that's how California amends their Constitution by ballot.
And the entire West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington, has formed this coalition to go on the offensive. That's what they call it. Also to become sanctuaries for women seeking abortions. How do you think we'll see this play out? Will this be the way marijuana was, for example, with the feds occasionally cracking down, but usually leaving the states alone?
I mean, this is really, we are entering like a Wild West right now, where you say all these states are really scrambling. I think we will see more, sanctuary laws, as you said there. And also we're seeing states that don't want abortion to happen, trying to limit the travel a woman can do outside the state to where it is legal. And then we also see in Texas where the city of Austin is saying that they aren't going to allow funding, or they're trying to pass city council not giving funding to police to enforce the Texas state law against abortion. So this is really going to get complicated. We're going to see as weeks to come how it all plays out.
And these pro-life states have thought this through very well with these trigger laws. Obviously, they were anticipating this Supreme Court decision, and they were ready for it.
Yes, absolutely. Although it's interesting, you mentioned how in Texas the court stayed it. And the reason why it's not their new trigger law, which will come into effect in a few weeks. It was an old law on their books from before Roe v. Wade. And so that's why it was stayed by the court. And similarly, in Wisconsin, there was an law prohibiting abortion that was enacted back in 1800. And when Roe v. Wade overturned it, they never took it off the books. That's what happened with Texas and Wisconsin. So there's some of that kind of messiness that's also being played out.
And just on a political level, much of the legwork on this issue was done in state houses over several years. Pro-life Republicans dominating many of those state houses. Do you expect this issue to galvanize Democrats ahead of the midterm elections?
I mean, absolutely. Justice Kavanaugh, that was one of the things that he said in his opinion that he thought was so important, that this divisiveness kind of be settled, left it go to the states. But I think instead it's going to become on the ballot an issue in every election, state, local, as we see, even city with Austin, and federal. It will now become an issue that I think voters and people will campaign on in pretty much every election.
All right, Dina, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.